on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want more berries and that summer feeling. It's so wonderful and warm. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I could ever go without watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar. Strawberries on a summer evening, baby, you're the end of June.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. How is everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing good. Here we are today with this new webinar called Blondes Are Fun. It is not actually a new webinar because we've been doing this webinar also during the summertime. So perhaps some of you has already seen it, but it is always great to talk about blondes and to talk how much fun the blondes are. So, yes, of course. Why? Because blonde is a color that makes every woman happy. And we all know that it's also the hardest color to reach and to achieve, specifically when we are looking at dark hair becoming blonde. And we know that that takes a lot to do. So, how nice to see you all here. I'm looking at the chat, and there's also Steve from Malaysia, and a lot of people from Germany. I can see also from Macedonia. Hello, hello. And from Ukraine, and oof, so many. Very nice to have you all here. Definitely international. That's what we like. So, before I start, I just wanted to tell you, please, to go each one in your language, because then from there you can listen to your own language. And we have different and several translators, which I'd like to welcome and say thank you for being with us today. And if you have questions, please write them in the chat, and we will answer. We have my colleagues that will answer back to you in the chat, or they can ask directly to me, and we will answer specifically. So let's go on and let's start with a video, which is a video that will tell you what is blonde hair for us at Inebrya. Because, of course, every brand has a different way of looking at blondes, but specifically, every season has a different way to look at blondes. So let's look what is blonde for Inebrya. Okay, so you've been able to see with this video what is the blonde essence for Inebrya. And the blonde essence for us is actually being specifically feminine. Why is that? Because the name of the brand Inebrya, which you all know, it means to inebriate, which is an Italian verb That means to illuminate, stimulate, excite. So, touching the five senses through our products and working, therefore, with the beauty of the woman. So, not only the beauty for beauty in the sense of hair, makeup, and so on, but also the sensorial feel of a product. And you know that when people are happy, then of course beauty will come out and will come through even stronger. So, inebriating through the five senses means that the product will perform, giving beauty to people, but also means that it has a very strong sensorial touch. So when you touch a product, it's a soft touch. When you smell a product, has a beautiful fragrance, and the texture of the product itself, it's pleasant to touch and to apply. So that's Inebrya. And when we speak about blonde, of course, we look at an ultra feminine effect, incredibly feminine as we see this model. Long hair, as we know, women love, a bit of movement with volume, with a new look of the blonde, which kind of goes in contrast with what we saw before in Blondess, which was a strong platinum blonde. Now we're going more into what the trend calls us for, which is a natural and delicate shade of blonde. And then we all want to glow with the Inebrya, of course. And glowing with the Inebrya is easy. Why? Because the products are outstanding. As you know, very sensorial. We always try to work with voluminous hair, outstanding looks, but specifically high professionalism and being international. Well, this moment we're definitely international, and we can show the inebriating side of the woman. So let's move on and see. So blonde itself can be with different tonalities. It can be platinum, it can be golden, it can be more of a honey, more caramel, more icy. So many different shades. But anyway, blonde itself is the most iconic expression that every woman desires. So here we go. And we know that nowadays, talking about blondes, we also know that there are so, so many different blondes and so many different names that are connected with the blondes. Specifically, when we speak about techniques like balayage techniques. So, again, when we speak balayage, we have to think about, is it all balayage with the same technique, or does it have a different name? Can I add this balayage with a different name into the service menu that I have in the salon? Well, yes, you can. And you know what? If we need to speak a little bit, for example, about marketing of the salon and the different services that we can sell, then the name of the technique will make a big difference, because you can charge differently per each technique. But it's not only that, it is also the fact that if I give a different name to each balayage technique, then I will be able to put myself as a salon into a higher standard and higher level. Some of you might think now, well, my clients always ask for balayage. Well, yes, because that's what has been promoted so much by the media. But in reality, as professionals, we know there is much more to that. So let's go and see the different shades, the different names, different techniques, and try to make a specific segment for all of these and maintain it fashionable, timeless, and of course, keeping the fun of the blonde colors. Let's move on. Now, we all know how the stereotype of blonde is like, yes, blonde is fun, but blonde is also adapted to a women that are more childish. Well, I've always been blonde, or for a long time of my life anyway, I've been blonde. Before I was copper and other colors, now a bit more towards into the grays, blonde and grays. And we know that for a long time, blondes were like, oh yeah, she's blonde. That was very much American. Oh yeah, she's blonde, like saying, yeah, she doesn't really get it. Well, it's time really to get away from that stereotype of the blonde and think that the world is finally realizing that blonde women, like the one that we see here in this page, are actually witty, intelligent, and fun and dorky at the same time. So definitely, blonde is fun. But can we dye our hair in different colors? Can we then go back to blonde? And you know how difficult it is from a dark color to bring someone back to blonde. But of course, there are different ways. So, how about creating flawless blonde? Why not? We can do that. How about going icy, like my hair generally, with a simple silver tone? Sure, there's no problem. How about some blonde lowlights? So cutting down the blonde, going into more of a natural tone, and adding some blonde in there, which is a bronze blonde. How about deep dye it without going orange? Well, yes, you can do that if you want to darken and you know the colorimetry, nice and easy. We can do that. How about some peachy pink highlights? Well, peach pink is a bit of a difficult color because it has some gold, a little bit of orange, and it has the pink. So it has to be created perfectly. But of course, for us hairdressers, becoming blonde or giving a blonde color to a client, it's always very challenging because there is so much to think of. And today, through this webinar, we are going to look different and several things in order to go to a flawless blonde. And then in the future, in 2024, we will have even deeper sessions into the blonde where we can give you more indication, also technical hints. Okay? So today, let's go more over techniques. So being blonde is one of these major mood board or mood enhancing because of course studies is actually certificated that becoming blonde a person feels more sexy, feels more glamorous, and becomes more optimistic. Why? Because there is this light that comes through when you become blonde or any other vibrant color. So let's look at blonde. Today we're going to stick to blonde. So let's look at the blonde colors. When we think of this, of course, let's kind of keep in mind, for example, all the beach waves that we've seen together and combined with the blonde, sun-kissed hair, like the image we see here, are beautiful for summer, but also in winter. Why is that? Because if we look at winter, blonde adapts to the colors of nature. And by adapting to the color of nature, and it suits the complexity or the complexion that during winter time will go more into a lighter shade, then it will fit with the whole ambience and create this festive light season. But then we also know through this, of course, the Games of Thrones Daenerys with her blonde and the dragons, we know that blondes can also tame dragons. So very good. And how about this look with half hair up and half hair down? That's very much dedicated to blonde people. I'm not sure if you ever realized
Sì, scusate, abbiamo avuto un problema di connessione di Tami. We had a connection. Tami has a bad connection, and we are trying to connecting her. Thank you. Thanks everybody for your patience. We are trying to solve Tami's issue in connecting, and we are trying to connecting her back. Thank you very much for your patience. We'll be again running with the webinar soon. Thank you very much.
Can you hear me? Sorry, we just had a problem with the connection. Here we go. Let's go back. Can you all hear me? Yes, super good. I apologize for that. I apologize. Must be something wrong on the line and it cut me off. Sorry, here I am. So let's go back. We were saying, how about the Barbie core? So we all know how everybody had the urge to become blonde recently after the launching of the movie Barbie. So there we go, and let's go see how to embrace the Barbie core. A lot of people, even the ones that did not look good with blonde, wanted to go blonde. Just let's just take a look at the phenomenon that happened here with the blonde features. Just for you to know, while Barbie Blonde has over 12 million views on TikTok, which is incredible, just know that Google research for blonde hair, blonde treatment, blonde products has gone up to 157% of clicks more compared to a few weeks before. So can you just imagine that? The anything that happens in the movie, of course, comes right away into the market, and we have to keep that in consideration. So Barbie core will still be strong for a little longer, not too much. Previews are saying in fashion that the pink colors and the Barbie core will be there until the beginning, like spring around April or second trimester of 2024. Having said that, blondes are fun, of course, but they're not fun for the hair. Why is that? Well, because we have to think about the damage. We always try, as a company and as Inebrya, we always try to maintain the bleaches and anything that has to work with blonde at a maximum level of care for the hair. But of course, we need also to take care of the hair in the condition that they are before applying the blonde, during the application of the blonde, and after the application of the blonde. So it's not only a matter of thinking blonde bleach, I do it, and then I treat the hair after. Well, no, that's not the only way to work or to look at it. The best would be take care of the health of the hair before, and here we see She Care Repair treatments, looking at the hair while we are working with our bleach in order to maintain the hair as healthy as possible. And we're going to see how to do this. And then after, not only after in the salon, but also after at home, telling people how to take care of their blonde hair also at home. So when we think about how to go healthy with the hair when people want to go blonde, the first thing is to deep cleanse the hair. Why is that? You know how sometimes, and I'm sure that this happened to every one of us because I'm a hairdresser, as you know, and I can tell you that it happened to me as well. You know, when you apply bleach on the hair and you apply it on a foil and the foil goes hot and it starts fuming and the hair is totally wrecked? Well, that happens sometimes, unfortunately. And why does it happen? It happens because in the hair or on the hair, there are some elements that are going against our bleach, which means there are some elements that actually goes in contrast. They activate with our bleach and create damage to the hair. The many of those are actually minerals. Well, minerals that are sitting in the hair in contact with alkaline surfaces like a bleach will kind of makes an explosion. That's the reason why you have this heat source, and that's the reason why you feel the hair becoming wrecked. Well, yes. So what can we do? If we clean the hair before and we prep the hair before with the prep shampoo, cleanse very well the hair, then we apply prep mask to reestablish the strength and structure of hair, maintaining it very homogeneous. And then from there, we start working with the bleach. And it can't be done on the same day the minute you are doing it. So in the right time when we are working to give the bleach. Okay, you can do it the week before, of course. That will also give you an extra service in the salon. It's a preparation service. Or you can do it right on the day where you're doing the bleaching. Cleanse very well the hair first, give the prep mask, and then proceed with the rest. If you look at the pH of the prep shampoo, you see that it's a 7.5. So the pH of prep is very high. When you work with such a high pH, you're capable of cleaning the surface of hair, and at the same time, you're opening up the cuticle so that it will be faster for the products to go inside. So the next step will be applying the prep mask, which, as you can see from the bottle, is a pH of 4.55. So it's not too low. What does this mean? When you're working with a pH of a 7.5, which is our prep shampoo, and then on top you go with a pH of 5, which is our mask, the hair will not go down to a pH of 5. It will still remain on a range around 5.5, 6. So how is the cuticle at a level pH 6? Still a little bit open. So if it's still a little bit open, you do not have to be afraid that the color or chemical service that you're applying on top, that it's not going to work. Don't be afraid of that, because 7.5 and a 5 brings around 0.556. Cuticle open, your chemical service will definitely work wonders for you. So you can use it, and you know that you've been cleaning the hair, reinforcing the hair, making it strong and ready to receive the blonde treatment. So, of course, that's one of the treats that we can do. Yes. And then let's go look at the rest. Well, here we see again the image of the blonde girl as we had before, which is actually very strong on the blonde, very light. So let's go and see our products first of all, and then we will go and see the techniques, okay? So let's look at the products. I am sure you all know our products, but let's just recap briefly how they work. So Miracle Gentle Lightener is our purple micropigment decolorizer that has a neutralizing action, and it can lift up to 7 levels. And to tell you the truth, this is also working as much as a protectant. So it will protect the hair as it will lighten the hair. It will actually work to make the hair softer as you are lighting the hair. So what is this telling you? That we have the purple pigments, but we still take care of the protection of hair. One more thing about the Miracle Gentle Lightener, we have a patent on this where the fragrance of the bleach is actually on the lid. It's not inside the powder, but the lid has the fragranced little molecules that will actually release a beautiful fragrance without creating the problems for people that are allergic or intolerant to fragrances. So there we go with something, again, very, very interesting. Let's move on and go and see the next one, which is the ammonia-free lightener. I know that a lot of people love our ammonia-free lightener because it's so delicate, but at the same time, it lifts up to 7 levels. And it still has the violet micropigments, therefore it helps reduce the yellow tones. Let's go and see the next ones. And in the next ones, we have the Freestyle Clay Lightener. Well, the Freestyle Clay Balayage's Freestyle Clay Lightener, it is one of the most consumed bleaches, specifically when we're talking balayage, like for the webinar of today. It is a formula very special that has been enriched with clay, and it allows lightening up to 5 levels. Just let me give you one little hint about this one, because the clay that it's included in this bleach will actually dry in contact with air. So what happens? When you apply the bleach, the Freestyle Clay Lightener on the hair, you need to apply a good quantity of product. Why? Because you know that the air will actually dry the top part of the applied formula so that it will not stain the hair next to it. What happens if you apply just a little bit of product? If you apply just a slight layer of product, the clay will dry and the product will not be moist in contact with hair. Therefore, it will not lift up the color. Okay, so when people tells me I've tried the freestyle clay liner but it does not lift up to 5 levels, what I say is you did not apply enough product. You should apply more. And why is that? As I said, the first top layer will dry, will keep the moist of the product inside on contact with hair, and that will lift up. So try it again and just go and check. Apply a lot, it will dry. Don't be afraid of it staining the rest of the hair. It will not stain the rest of the hair. Okay, it will still be beautiful. It will be defined, the area where you apply the decolorizer and the area where there is no decolorizer, because the clay dries, protects the rest. It's a very interesting formula, extremely interesting formula, and it's a formula that you should use every time you want to work freehand. So please keep it in mind. Okay, then we go into the number one sales that we have, the ultra fast lighteners 9 tones. Well, I have to say that it's almost the strongest bleach that we have. Yes, it's the ultra fast, but it's the strongest one. It is enriched with blue pigments, and I'm getting serious here when I say it's the strongest one. Unfortunately, a lot of people that has very dark hair think about having a bleach with stronger powders and higher volume peroxide. Well, no, no, no. That doesn't work that way. So anytime you use the 9 level, keep in mind that it's extremely strong. Keep in mind that in order to have it to perform, you need to work on healthy hair and work with lower volume peroxide. The lower volume peroxide will help you reach higher levels, blonder levels. Might take a little bit longer, but not too long, and it will maintain the hair healthy. At the end of the day, what I always suggest to hairdressers around the world is it's better to go slower and safer, because if you do a service fast because your client is in a hurry, she does not have time, she wants the service be done very quickly, and you do it because you want to make her happy, well, when the hair is damaged, she's going to say, it's your fault. You did it to me. You should have said to me that I was supposed to stay here an hour longer because I do not want to have damaged hair. This is what happens. So please, anytime you're thinking of working with ultra fast lightener 9 tones, always think that it's very strong, use a lower peroxide, and make sure your hair are healthy before to start off with. How do we make hair healthy? Chic hair repair, or start before with prep shampoo and prep mask. I know you know that. Very good. Let's move on to the next ones. Cosmetic bleaching cream. This is a blue micropigment bleach that lightens up to 7-8 levels. It's very strong, but it's gradual and very balanced. It's a cream, so you know we cannot apply the bleach on the scalp by law. We cannot do it. Well, someone does it here, but by law we cannot say it. You know, when you want to apply a bleach near the scalp, think about cosmetic bleaching cream, because the cream itself contains some treating ingredients that will help the hair remain healthy and will protect also the scalp. And then let's go into the next one, which is our reduced color powder anti-brass. Well, this bleach is a green bleach. Yes, what's the counter color of a red? it's green, right? What's the residual pigment that it's inside dark hair and that shows up when you are lifting the hair? It's still red. So that's the reason why this specific bleach, Reduct Color Powder Anti-Brass, is specific for cosmetic colored hair when you want to make it lighter. Why? It has a specific technology that will break down the molecules of the cosmetic color and help you reach in a balanced and more pure way, reaching your blonde. So how should we work with this color reduct powder? We shall think of it as something that always helps us anytime we want to higher the level of a cosmetic color. So let's say, for example, I have a client that comes in and she has a level 6 or level 5 or level 4 tint permanent color, or maybe she's done it at home. That's even worse, box color. They have a lot of minerals inside. You know how dark and deep those goes. So if there are box colors, what shall we do? We shall actually use color powder reduct, so our green bleach, mix it with a 25 violet oxidizer or a 20 vol or a maximum 30 vol, but I would recommend to stay on the 20 vol oxidizer. Apply it on the hair and let it act. You are going to see how this is going to break up all the color molecules so that then you will be easily reaching the blonde by the colorizing the natural pigments inside the hair. So keep it in mind. If you're not reaching the level that you like, let's say, for example, you start from a level 4. It says 5 levels. So you go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It reaches about a 7.5, 8 level. Perhaps you want to go as light as me. What should you do? Rinse off the Reduct Color Powder Anti-Brass. Give a treatment with She Care shampoo, She Care mask. Rinse the mask, rinse everything, and then reapply your next bleach. That can be any of the other bleaches. It's not necessary to continue with the Reduct. You can go with the Miracle Gentle. You can go with the cosmetic bleaching cream. You can go with the ammonia-free. Not a problem. But you are sure that now you have a clean base because you've taken away the cosmetic colors, and now you can lift up the hair as much as you want. So again, here are the summary of all our bleaches. Miracle Gentle, 7 levels. Ultra Fast Lightener, 9 tones. Reduct Color Powder Anti-Brassiness, up to 5 levels. And then we have Ammonia-Free Lightener, 7 levels. Cosmetic Bleaching Cream, 7 levels. And the Freestyle Clay Balayage that will go up to 5 levels. So you have a big variety for anything you want to do. And then, of course, we have the miracle treatments of Blondess that will help you maintain a pure blonde and durable color. And specifically, it has some anti-UV rays and anti-smog action in the shampoo that will help you clean the hair from any kind of pollution molecules or from the brassiness given from the sun rays. I know we're getting into winter, but today is a beautiful sunny day here, and sun will turn those beautiful blondes into yellow. So anytime you are giving a blonde service to a client, just remember to give her Blondess miracle treatments to follow up your great service at home. It's always interesting. So let's look at the complete way of working. And I kept in here the older demi toners as well, because those are still in some market used. So I keep them here. So what we do, the first step is going with the lighteners. And then you know that once you rinse off the lighteners, it's always good to give a shampoo. Then we go into the post-bleach treatment for the scalp. That's only for the scalp, to make the scalp more supple, to balance again the hydrolipidic mantle of the scalp. Then you rinse off the scalp treatment, and then you go into applying your toner, which for the countries that still has the demi-permanent toners of Blondess, you can use those. For the countries that are now into the new toners of Blondess, you can use those. Leave on the processing time and then go back and shampoo again with Blonde Miracle shampoo. Apply on length and ends the Blonde Miracle nectar, and then if necessary, you can spray the B-Phase conditioner. And then, of course, the Miracle Drops, which everybody loves. Let me just stay here for a second talking about this. Like, I like to talk about the Blondess treatment, such as the no yellow and no orange. The reason why I want to stay here just a little bit is because sometimes hairdresser will use the Blondess no yellow or no orange shampoo right after a bleach to rinse off, to shampoo the bleach. No, 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 don't do that. You cannot work it that way. You know why? Because when the hair is extremely open, the cuticles are extremely open because we've just bleached the hair, and you're going to apply on those open cuticles a pigmented shampoo like no yellow or no orange, the pigments are going to go right in the hair, and the hair might turn blue or violet. Well, now, if that's what you want, then it's super good. But if you were looking for blonde hair, first shampoo hair with the Blondess Miracle treatment. Then, after that, you can shampoo the hair with a no yellow or no orange shampoo. What's the difference? The difference is that the first shampoo, if you're using the Blondess Miracle, what's going to do? It's going to cleanse the hair, take away the residues of the bleach, give some nourishing elements to the hair, close a little bit the cuticle so that the hair now is less thirsty of elements that will give back the structure. Therefore, when you apply the no yellow shampoo or no orange shampoo, which are pigmented, they are not going to go so deep in. Okay? Please, please, please follow this rule. Never shampoo a bleach right away with the pigmented shampoos. Use a neutral shampoo first, neutral by color. So please use the Blondess Miracle shampoo first. Then move on with your series. And sometimes a lot of hairdressers are able to reach a lighter type of hair color. I'm thinking of Germany, I'm thinking of Ukraine, I'm thinking of Russia right now, where they have like a blonder hair. For you guys, it's much easier to make hair blonde and then tone down the yellow. Toning down the yellow is never easy, but for you, it's easier compared to, for example, Steve that lives in Malaysia and his hair are very dark over there, and then the red shows up a lot. So that's a bit more difficult. But for all of you, it might happen that you can easily maintain the cooler shade of the blonde just by using the Blondess No Yellow. I want to just inform you once more that the mousse is supposed to be rinsed. So it's not only on mousse. Okay, make sure that you rinse it. That will give you the best result. Very good. I hope you enjoyed this part dedicated to products so that we can now go on and think about now all the different techniques about blonde. So if you have any question on the products, please write them down. If you're happy with what we have explained up to now, I will move on. So let me just know in the chat if you're happy with the product information. If you have questions, just write them and we will answer to you. So let's go into the techniques for blonde. So sometimes it feels that the minute that we've learned how to do one technique and we kind of get, let's say, adjusted to it, there comes another word. And now we are like, what is that? So let's look at the different words for techniques that are out there nowadays. We have balayage, everybody knows. We have ombre, sun-kissed, blur. We have flamboyage. We have baby lights. We have sombre, tush, baby highlights, regular highlights. There are so many. And then there are low lights. There is blur. So many of them. Let's think about money piece. Let's think about contouring. I could have really made such a big list of different names for these techniques. But let's stick to this one. And let's compare one to another and see what the difference is there. Okay. And then after this, we're going to go into the application method. Okay. Let's go faster now. So how to create the perfect look with balayage. So a lot of people think that balayage are new. Well, no, they're not new. They were actually developed in France back in the 70s. That's how far balayage comes. But of course, they were called balayage only in France, and then all the rest of the world were calling like more of highlights or sun-kissed hair or sunlights, sun touches, sun peaks. Those back in those days, those were the names that were given to all this balayage. And after many years, many decades, here we are again with balayage back in fashion. Well, balayage, it's the only one that creates a very nice, natural, gradual effect, like sun-kissed, like natural sun-kissed hair. Well, yes, maintaining the roots on the natural color and highlighting only partially the hair. But a lot of time this goes confused with other techniques, like ombre, for example. Well, the ombre hair, the ombre color, is actually a two-tone highlighting technique, which is characterized by a very rapid change between the dark hair and the light hair. So dark roots and then definitely lighter color on a very narrow line of shading. So that creates a two-step color. So there is a lot of color applied and a lot of bleach or light applied. It creates a whole difference. So what's the difference between the two? Let's just write it down so that it will become more easy for you to explain the difference to your client when you are going to prepare the service menu. So balayage is considered to be more natural, more subtle, very light, extremely elegant. Ombre is more dramatic, is more drastic. And you know what? Between the two, sometimes we see some ombre that it's not well done. We look it down the road. We look at some ladies that has an ombre that it's not well done. Well, you generally think that's a balayage, that it's not done well. Well, it could be an ombre where they go very dark, very light, and they just create a mistake in the shadowing between the two. Be very careful. The shadow line between the darker color and the lighter color of an ombre has to be of a similar tonality or temperature as the ends. That's where an ombre becomes very elegant. But let's go on and see the rest of the difference. While the balayage grows out very naturally, the ombre a bit different because you need to darken the base compared to the natural color. Therefore, at one point, the client will have the regrowth, the dark base of the ombre, the middle line, which is the blurring line, the shading line, and then the length and ends. So at one point, the client might have 4 colors in her hair. Well, that will make the client come back into the salon, have the regrowth retouched, and then leaven up the rest of the hair. By leavening up, I mean giving brightness to the rest of the hair. So it's a very interesting thing. Client will come back more often. While if we only think of balayage, we know that they can grow them out with no problem. So here, let's just look at the image. Here's the difference between an ombre and a balayage. You see that the difference is very strong. Ombre, as we said, very dramatic. Balayage, very soft. So, recapping, the ombre is a two-tone hair color, while the balayage is a gradient of color, but the balayage is more of a natural effect. So keep this in mind. Put the 2 names on your menu in the salon and explain the difference. You can also take those pictures that I put there and create your menu with the images on the menu. That will help you a lot to make customers understand the difference. Now let's go and look the difference between balayage and highlights. Well, we know highlights, lots of foils, very clean application. A lot of times I see 2 people working on the same head, one holding the foil and the other one working on with the rest. Well, highlights has been there for a very long time. So in that case, we are actually thinking of a lower maintenance with balayage, while with highlight is a higher maintenance. So let me look here. There is Miroslava saying to us, it would be good, for example, to show pictures of hair, because in my opinion, all dyeing techniques are very similar. You are exactly right, Miroslava, and I really appreciate this. I'm going to show you in a little bit some other images of all the different colors and techniques. And you know what? You can ask for the PDF of this webinar so that you have all the slides. And there you can see and take the pictures to add them into your menu. Thank you, Miroslava. Thank you for saying that. So traditional highlights, we all know. The good thing about highlights, reverse to balayage, as I was saying, is that balayage will grow out natural and you don't really see it, while the highlights will have a definite step. So you need to retouch the regrowth. You need to retouch it in order to have beautiful hair and always great. But let's go further on and see all this. So now, balayage and highlights we've seen. Let's go and see how to work with some other colors. And balayage generally is painted directly on hair and not really using foils, while highlights, there is a lot of foils. But I know that in some countries where the hair is very dark, they would really use some foils also to capture the heat with the balayage. Here again, another picture that shows you the difference between ombre and balayage. Well, here we have ombre, very dark, with a darker contouring on the front. And then we have the balayage with the money piece contouring on the front. As you can see, even here, 2 different effects. Okay, Sarah. Al balayage, okay, on the balayage, we can also color the regrowth. Yes, you can also do that on the balayage. Yes, of course, you can color the regrowth. But generally, people that comes with balayage, unless you do a very strong balayage, then that has a different name that we're going to see. Balayage are very softer in the top part. So clients has a tendency of not coming back so strongly. Okay. So perhaps let's say that if with perhaps the how should I call it? With the balayage, if you're going very soft and they have their natural color, they might come back after 4 or 5 months. But if they have like a more stronger balayage, we're going to see some signs. Then yes, you need to retouch it up. And that will come back every 2 months, probably 3 months. So that's good business. Yes. And I understand. You know what? We always have to keep very much attention what we do and when is the client coming back next time. If it takes too long between one session and the other, then it's no good for us. We need to make money. Here again, let's see again differences between ombre and a subtle balayage with a different rose gold, more of a warmer blonde tone. Let's go and see some other ones. Ombre et balayage. See, even this effect, very low, very shaded. Well, this effect is actually going to bring you on a not going back to the salon too fast. But let's go see this. This is one of the techniques that will actually bring you back clients very fast. Why? Look at those big sections that are applied all the way up and then just shade in the center part. Well, yes, with this, they have to come back and redo it. Now, it is very important to know exactly the technique you're using and working very clean. And I know that working very clean is not one of the cup of teas of hairdressers. I'm talking about all my colleagues and myself. Sometimes we work very fast in the salon and we don't keep it clean. Remember, a clean application is going to help you. Number one, the client knows that you're doing a great job because she sees that you're doing it perfectly. Number two, it will definitely make a difference with other colleagues in case that client will go away from you. And third, you are sure that next time that you're going to recapture again the same sections, you're able to do it. So there we go. Again, look at this beautiful looks where it actually has very soft shading. But as you can see, the shading has the same temperature. So the blonde has the same temperature. Here we go. Talking about ombre, that's the technique of the ombre. So you see the difference between the technique of the balayage and the technique of the ombre. Ombre is definitely hand painting a lot of color on the ends and then just shading a little bit up on the, let's say, 75% of the strand. Up from the 70 to the 75% of the length, you go shading. The rest, you go with a deep, strong bleaching. So this is actually color specific. There is a question in German, so I let someone translate for me, and then we'll see. Okay. Oops, sorry. This is another ombre. Look at the difference with this ombre, which is very popular for clients that has very dark hair. They like to maintain an ombre that it's coming very strong, totally different, but again, same temperature. You see how it is ashy on the top and ash on the length. Okay, so let's move on and let's go see the different. Schade, dass es auf English ist. Okay, no, dear Silky, no worries. And Torsten, yes, I understand what you're saying. Too bad that the PowerPoint PowerPoint is in in English. Yes, but you can ask your distributor, because we are sending the German PowerPoint to Germany, so you will receive the German PowerPoint. Of course, talking to Julia, talking to Nadia, talking to all of you. Nadia right there helping. Thanks, Nadia. Yes, you will receiving it. For international reasons, we keep English. Otherwise, today we have, for example, people from Russia, people from Malaysia, people from Ukraine, people from Italy. English is the international language. You will receive it in German. Yes, of course. Our Nadia Shubin is right there for you to help you out with that. Very good. Let's move on. So, but anyway, I'm happy because what you're saying, Thorsten and the other girl, means that you're interested in our PowerPoints. Super good. Make me happy. Very good. Let's go back into sombre again. This is a very soft sombre, very beautiful, that goes into a more subtle color, and we can see how we work from a brown to the lighter shades, maintaining this effect that is on the same tonality, like a raccoon. You see that? It's not that you're applying like a warm color on the base and a cool color on the ends. No, no, no. The temperature has to be the same all together. So flamboyage. Flamboyage is one of the most beautiful techniques, I would say, together with balayage. Flamboyage is actually a mix between the two with different tonalities. Here is when you change the temperature. So in this case, you will see that you have some darker shades, some lighter shades, and some warmer shades in between. Flamboyage comes from the technique like looking at a fire. If you look at a flame, how is the flame? Think about it. Well, the flame goes like lighter in the exterior. It has a bit of warmth right after and a bit of violet inside. What's the violet? It's a cool color. The outside is lighter and the in-between is warmer. That's a flamboyage. Kind of difficult to achieve. How are you going to do it? When you work, you apply your bleach and you use two types of different bleaches, one stronger, one not as strong, and you work your shades with two types of bleach on the same strand, and that will create a beautiful effect. So now that we've seen them all, I put them here, balayage versus ombre, sombre versus flamboyage. You see the difference, and you see how we can look on that. So there are many feminine ways to look at blonde, but where I like to go right now with the blonde is just to give you some hints and some slides that will help you when you are talking to clients that are very dark on the roots, like this lady you can imagine, and very light on the ends or on the overall head. You know, they come in and they say, well, I want to be platinum blonde. They come in at a level 3. I want to be platinum blonde in lunchtime, lunch hour. No possible. So I'm helping everyone by creating the slides that you can show to the clients and saying, listen, even our company Inebrya, which gives us the products to make you from dark to blonde to pale blonde, we need to use specific products. They gave us the specific material. And look here, if you're at a level 3 as a dark brown and you want to go to level 9, it will take about 4 hours if you want your hair to be healthy. And I'm adding here, and it will cost you this much. Or if you want, I can do it faster in 3 hours, but then you have a bad hair day results. Okay? So Let's go and see. Just use this and give it to your clients. Show it to your clients. Print it out. Show it to your clients and say, listen, even the company is telling you this. So it is not you. It is actually them. It's actually us as Inebrya telling you the time necessary. Otherwise, the client generally does not believe their hairdresser. And this is a pity. Then you know what they do. They go somewhere else, get their hair damaged, and then they come back to us to fix it, right? We've been there before. Let's look at this other service. If you have a very cosmetic color dark hair and they want to go blonde, well, it's even longer. It takes 6 hours if they want to go from black to a level 9 with healthy hair. It takes a long time. I know that you can do it faster than 6 hours. I know that. But let's just tell the clients it's going to take you 6 hours if you want your hair to be healthy, and it's going to cost you this much. Otherwise, we'll make it fast and bye-bye hair. Always remember to use your reduced color powder. We've already spoken about this. I'm just going to go on fast. I just want to show you the ingredients that it contains so you understand why it works so well. Well, it has the shea butter, illipe butter, and aloe vera. So again, work with that first, work with the other bleach after. We all know the action inside the bleach. So it goes inside, it takes away, and it works on the cosmetic pigments. Then it starts working on the natural pigments, lifting them up, and then you have the results. Very briefly, I know we've gone through this before, but very briefly, I just want to show you what happens with the 40 volume. When people like to use 40 volume, look at the black arrow. It goes up very fast. It appears that it's actually bleaching the hair extremely fast, but then it drops. Looks what it happens with the 10 volume, 20 volume, and 30 volume. Slowly, but they reach the level and they keep on working. So always keep that in mind when you're working. Rinsing and shampooing, we've already said that. First, use the Blondess Miracle or the repair, Chic Hair Repair, if you're working on unhealthy hair. If you're working on damaged hair, you can shampoo the hair after the bleach with the repair shampoo. Then, after that, you can think about working with colors, shampoos, but never use right away the no yellow or no orange. Just remember that. First, you need to use a regular shampoo after you use the toning shampoo. Structure. You need to restructure the hair before applying the toners. So Blonde Miracle Nectar or Chic Hair Repair in case of hair that is very, very damaged. I would definitely recommend you to keep this slide printed and keep it there so that you will have a good idea while you are working and you will remember how to work with it. And here's the image of the Chic Hair Repair line that will actually help you into keeping the hair nice and structured. So let's see here from Katya. I live in Ireland now, and before that in Ukraine. Where can I buy your products here? Okay, Katya, we will answer to you. Can you please write down your email, perhaps privately to the organizers, and we will definitely let you know, Katya, where to find our products. And thank you for asking. Thank you. It means you love our products, and we love you, Katya. There we go. So, okay, a little presentation as well on this Chic Hair. By the way, for all of you that has monitors or screens in your salons, you can receive all our videos, so you can play in the salon our videos, and that will help you a lot into getting the client convinced and into that, so that they can have idea of the products that you use. I see there is a question from Ala right here, and yeah, they will translate it for me. Thank you, Ala. She Repair has amino acids, of course, and that will help neutralizing the damages of the hair and reconstructing the structure of hair. And then let's go into the toners. We had a whole beautiful effect on the toners where we can definitely work with icy blonde, caramel blonde, translucent, and then from there we will be able to tone the hair so fast in about 15 minutes. And toners are diluted 1 to 2. They are ammonia free, and they will actually color the hair fast in order to receive all these different beautiful shades. We've also created some creative formulas: baby blonde, butter blonde, and sugar blonde. So once you receive the PPD or the PDF, you will be able to have those formulas with you, and that you can definitely work much better with the colors, giving tonalities exactly what you want. So wonderful. Please work beautifully, tone the hair, keep the blondes toned, because I know that the toner is what maintains your blonde longer. People that does not tone the blondes, they're always going to have brassy yellow blondes. Okay, aloe vera and coconut oil are always into our toners, and as I said before, PPD free, resveratrol free, and they're vegan, of course, and ammonia free. Here you have a chart. Please ask for this chart. You can find this wall chart printed or in a PDF. Keep it at the color bar so that you will have all the indications about the different bleaches, what they do, what's their plus, how many levels, how to mix, how to work, and then you will have all the volumes, the oxidizers, and how the toners will react at a base level 10, 9, 8, and level 7, so that you will have a whole complete chart. And you know how much I love tables. Well, right here you have a whole complete chart or table with all the indications. Very good. So this is all for products again. Let's go back into looking at the hair and the techniques. We still have 20 minutes, actually 19 minutes, enough time to go and see the techniques. Here we go. So ombre. The ombre will give you a hard line. There are two ways of working with ombre. You can work it on a convex or a concave line or a straight line. The straight line is way too strong. I always recommend to work with a convex or concave line, because that, with the movement of hair, will give you more of a soft effect. It will give you those soft lines. Then you have the V-shape flame balayage or the sombre with softer line. Well, the V-shape is when you take the section and you apply the bleach starting very low, very little on top, and working down very strong towards the end, working a lot in the center. And that creates a beautiful flamme balayage. It's a flame balayage. It's a mix between flamboyage and balayage. If you want to do a flamboyage, you do the same application, and then you take a different bleach, work with a bleach that is a little bit softer, and work it in the interior, leave out the center, and in the center, go again a very thin very, very thin section with a higher and stronger bleach. And that will create a beautiful flamboyage. The freestyle, of course, is hand painting micro highlights or baby highlights, as they're called right now, very fine. And the mix of colors in the hair contouring is when you're doing what is called also pixeling. Well, the pixeling is when you have a shade and you start applying different color on one strand. So you work with bleach and then you work with color, never on top of the bleach. Okay? Color is separated from bleach. When color and bleach mix together, you will never have the exact idea of the result, which is fine if you're happy with a color that can be in some areas lighter and in some areas darker with different temperature. Everything is possible as long as you know what you're doing. Again, let's look at it more graphically. Here we have ombre, sombre, splashlight. It was a bit in fashion back in the 80s. It had a little comeback in US in beginning of 2023, so beginning of this year, but we haven't really seen much because it's too harsh. It only works for young people. It's very interesting to work with the blur. Blur is when you're mixing two tonalities of colors or three tonalities of colors. You can do bleach on one side, natural in the center, and color on the other side of the strand. Or you can do bleach in one side, darker color in the center, medium color on the other side. And then you reverse the technique. You will go medium color, dark color, bleach. Okay? And then you reverse. Bleach, dark color, medium color. This will create to you a different effect of light. You can also do it the same, going from front to back, from front to back, doing single. That will be more strong, more definite. It's up to you, but it works beautifully. So one at one, if you want to take screenshots or if you want to just see them, see the results. So here, answering to the lady, gentle lady that asked about hair, showing hair. Here you go. This is balayage. This is ombre. See the difference? Nice and shaded. Same temperature of hair, either warm or cold. Sombre. Sombre, where it has a higher level of shade in between, lighter and darker roots. The difference with ombre is that the sombre is more shaded in the center. And then flashlight. Bit complicated, a bit difficult, but for young people, sure, it might go. Why not? And then blur. Look at blur. Blur is beautiful with any kind of color, as you can see, different shades that will help you create a variety. It's like a kaleidoscope of colors in the hair. Looks beautifully. Here's the chatouche. Chatouche is an old technique that we used back in the 80s and the 90s, where you have like darker roots and then softened down into soft, lighter effects on the ends. Let's go and see now examples of the techniques. And I hope you like the idea of showing you techniques like this. Here we go. Now, screenshot or make sure you receive the PDF so that you will have hints on how to work with the sections, okay? This is going to be great because they are actually helping you into creating a whole head of hair with few sections, but it will look as if you did a complete head of hair. Sometimes we do work with foils, and we work with 50, 60, 100 different foils. Well, not always we can do that into the salon because we don't have time. We want to gain more money. let's go and see these techniques that are so beautiful and so fast to make. So in this case, 12 sections at the back, weaved. So in and out, like tricotage. Tricotage, diagonal, straight, diagonal, double straight on top. And then on the side, you will do 4. 2 tricotage on the side, and then another 2 on top. If you want, you add 6 on top here. That will be like this, like brick blocks, okay? So there you go. And these are 12, 4 on the side, 6 on top, and it looks like a complete head of hair. This one is beautiful for long hair. 14 sections at the back. Again, double diagonal at the base so people can lift their hair up and will look at themselves blonde at the back, and then straight, diagonal, straight, diagonal, straight, diagonal, and you do the same at the side. Diagonal, straight in the interior, diagonal, straight in the interior, diagonal forward, straight in the interior. And that will help you maintaining an overall head of hair. This is interesting, takes a little bit longer to do. This goes about on a 36 type of effect. But how do we work? We work with sections, tricotage, all around the perimeters, from front to back. Then we go inside and we do zigzag, very short zigzag diagonally at the side as well. Then we do 1 zigzag straight, zigzag diagonal, zigzag straight. On the top part, you go tricotage in the front area, but you tease the hair, back comb the hair so it becomes soft. And then on the top part here, right here of the head, on the crown area, just go with zigzag, tease, so back comb, and apply your shades. And then just freehand paint on the end. A little bit longer, result is stunning. This is a very fast one that we generally use easily, specifically for people in summertime where you want to touch up a little bit the technique. You do 12 sections, 8 at each side. 12 at top, 8 on the side, it's done. Start from the crown, work down diagonal. You do your 12, 3 money piece, 3 at the side, back to back, and it's done. It looks beautiful. If you want, just apply 2 at the back, so when summertime people lift their hair up, it looks beautiful. This is another one. When you need to do regrowth, perhaps some people that has gray hair, you need to do regrowth, retouch. Well, do a 2-in-1. Do your retouch, apply your permanent color on the base, section by section, tease or back comb the section, and then just hand paint balayage the length. It works beautifully. It mudges all together. When you rinse, you need to have a colic that will pick up the ends so that you can wash the base first. Go inside with the water. Go inside with your fingers. Go inside with the shampoo. Have your colics lifting up the ends so that they don't get smudged. Then, once you've shampooed and rinsed the base color for coverage, leave the hair down, shampoo everything, and tone. This is another one, just 9 on top, tricotage, diagonal, diagonal, diagonal back. And then just hand paint the ends. It works beautifully, specifically when you want to give something very strong. In this case, it's not a technique, it's just an idea of how to divide hair with big rollers, big Velcro rollers. This will definitely ensure that the sections will not touch one another. If you are not using the clay balayage, you need to do this. If you're using our freestyle clay balayage, then there is no problem. It will not stain. Here, let's talk a little bit about contouring. Well, contouring will actually create this effect depending on what type of hair or face you have. Then on this, you will actually work easily. Long face, do not put the money piece or the contouring up to the front. Keep it a little bit down and don't go all the way down to the ends. Just keep it in the central part for long faces. Round face, you need to smooth around off this part, like my face now. I would need to have some more blonde right here as I gain some weight. But anyway, square face, same thing. Put it here, and then the light, it also has to be on top here. So you enlight the top part and you enlight the bottom part, so the squareness of the jawline will be more softer. Let's go and see the next. This is the most diffuse technique. We all know it. It's the 2-point and only on the ends, very high up. And as you can see, there is a darker color in between, but you see, it does not melt with the bleach. That's the way it's supposed to be done. This one, the most diffuse number 2, teasing, back combing up at the base, and then applying your strength. One strand is higher with the bleach, the other end is lower with the bleach, and then all the way up shaded. This is the most diffuse, which is beautiful, has to be done nice and cleanly, as we said, and it works fabulous. Freehand painting, it depends to you. Generally, this technique, please keep it in mind. Next year, we're going to have a whole new section of webinars, and we're also going to talk about gray hair. Why? You will discover this in next year, starting from February with our webinars, you will discover. But keep in mind this technique. It's very helpful when you want to join in gray hair. Not saying anything else. Here we go again with the freehand painting, where you see some back combing and then you see all the rest. Very good. And you see a lot of bleach is applied, but there are 2 types of bleaches. One is stronger, the other one is not so strong, is milder, and the 2 together will create this beautiful effect. Let's go see the next one. Very strong again. You take the overall section all around the hair. So you do just one section all around. And you use the tin foil or the plastic paper, apply it, and then paint on top. And you just work big section from side to side. Well, the result is extremely strong, specifically underneath and on top. In the center, you will only have 2 strands of color. If you want, in the center of the head, you can divide into half and have 2 shades of color, and it will work beautifully. Very nice to see. This is not my favorite, I have to say, but a lot of people likes to use it, is when you work freehand and you have cotton in between the sections with a lighter, stronger bleach and a softer, milder bleach. Well, the cotton, you have to be very careful because it sticks to the hair. When you take it off, it's a bit more sloppy. But hey, a lot of people like to use it, so it's fine, no problem. Let's look at this technique. Well, right here, we have exactly where we have sectioning in diagonal. You know that anytime you take diagonal sections or separation, they will diffuse. The hair will diffuse. By diffusing, you are actually going to create a softer effect. So here, you go with a rhomboid or a square on the back part, And then you apply diagonal section, one straight, diagonal, horizontal, almost diagonal, and then diagonal, horizontal, almost diagonal, and then horizontal all the way on the top. Try it first on a mannequin. If you have a doll head, I would recommend to try it on a mannequin first. You know why? Because if you don't take the right balance of the sectioning, it might look a bit uneven. So do it first on a mannequin, and then you will work on a model and you will see the difference. It is definitely interesting the way it results. And you only work with 16 foils. So that's so fast. Only 16 foils will help you do the overall head. Now, I want to share with you the sectioning that we can have with Inebrya. This is our teaching of sectioning, where you have a balanced area of color to work with. So the front part, the back part divided in two, the lower crown area, and the apex of the head. This will allow you to work beautifully with a very balanced structure. Okay, very good. And there we go. We go into the last one. Are we ready to inebriate the world? And I have to say we are right on time, actually. Wow, 59, perfectly timing. Are we ready to inebriate the world with our blonde colors? I think so. I really hope you enjoyed everything we did. Thank you, Candice. I'm seeing we also have someone from South Africa, not only from Malaysia. We have people from everywhere today. That's the reason why we have the English slides. So there we see people from Croatia, from Serbia, from Malaysia, from everywhere, Germany, Ukraine, Ireland, Russia. Thank you so much. I really want Germany, of course. Dankeschön. Thank you. Vielen Dank. And let's meet everyone again very soon. And spasiba to all of you that speaks Russian. Thank you so much. I would like to thank also the interpreters that did a very good job. Thank you so much. I know it's not easy because I talk a lot and fast, but thank you, everyone. Thank you to be with me today at the webinar, and I'll wait for all of you in the next webinars. And don't forget, next year, 2024, we're going to change the formats of the webinars, and it will be even more exciting. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone. God bless you all. Take care. Bye.